What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video, and we have a major update on the Milos Kerkez transfer because a Liverpool fan actually found out that on Tuesday a private jet departed from England, specifically from Blackpool, and that's where Liverpool Football Club officials often fly from. And the plane landed in a curious location in Tivat, Montenegro, and guess where Kerkez is on holiday? He is in Montenegro. He posted some pictures on his Instagram. So the previous day Kerkez posted a picture of him at the Bay of Kotor in Tivat. So it's the same place where the private jet landed, and that's too much of a coincidence. So it looks like the Liverpool officials flew to Montenegro to conduct the first part of the medical test, or maybe the second part of the medical test. And yesterday the same jet then flew on to Greece, and today Kerkez posted a new Instagram picture of him basking in the sun in, you know where? Greece. Yes, you guessed it. So that private jet, which flew from England to Montenegro, took Kerkez to Greece, and the private jet then returned to the UK and landed in, guess what? Bournemouth. So maybe, Kerkez stayed behind in Greece for his holiday, but some officials traveled onwards to Bournemouth to conduct club-to-club negotiations. So Liverpool officials could have traveled to Kerkez to iron out the final little details on the contract, and then they traveled back to Bournemouth to finalize the transfer. So this seems to back up reports that talks would intensify between Liverpool and Bournemouth this week, because the Florian Wirtz transfer is pretty much done, just the final paperwork is needed. So now Liverpool can turn their attention onto Milos Kerkez, which looks like could be the next big, very exciting transfer that Liverpool makes. So if you are excited about these updates, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and turn on the bell notifications so you never miss the latest Liverpool transfer news updates videos. And we will have a packed video with lots of new information in this one. And I love the reaction to this Liverpool fans, plane tracking, because it's like FBI or CIA level. It's out of this world. So a Liverpool fan said, I reckon this guy would be able to track down the Zodiac killer if one of his ciphers spelled out the name of a Liverpool player that Liverpool were interested in. And your next task will be to find out the location of Wirtz's holiday so we can all track his flight to the Liverpool. I love these fan reactions, man. They are so funny. You might genuinely need to be recruited by the MI5. That's the UK Secret Service, I think. That's brilliant. So that is a very damn good investigation work by this guy. So congratulations to him. And Fabrizio Romano also posted 1 or 2 days ago that Milos Kerkez to Liverpool remains a matter of time, and it's a matter of short time. So we could get the official announcement maybe this week or early next week, with final round of talks taking place very soon. The deal won't be completed today, but soon Liverpool will meet again with Bournemouth to get it done. And that's where I think this is very suspicious that the UK officials flew to where Kerkez is staying on holiday, and then they flew back to Bournemouth directly. Truffert, the new left back, will be Kerkez's direct replacement at Bournemouth. They already signed a new player like that. So the Milos Kerkez transfer is very, very exciting. And also let's talk about some other stuff, like the inside scoop about Florian Wirtz's transfer, because Liverpool have handled everything regarding this Florian Wirtz transfer so well. The respect to him and his family has been valued by them throughout. And at the start of the week, when he's finished his international games, the communication was made. At this point, we were publicly made aware of the bid. Wirtz had been told by Liverpool and Leverkusen that it would be resolved in the coming days. And basically, they said to Florian, go and enjoy your holiday and be ready for next week. And while Liverpool and Leverkusen finalize the deal, Wirtz can enjoy his holiday, and then if he comes back and gets a medical done, and then he signs officially for Liverpool. Similar in the case of Milos Kerkez, which is nearing an agreement. Same process. The agreement was before the formal offer. Add-ons yet again are crucial in this deal. So this next week for Liverpool could be absolutely massive, because we could announce Florian Wirtz and Milos Kerkez in the matter of a few days. And also, let's talk about Florian Wirtz. The inside information is that Wirtz did not choose money, he chose a challenge at Liverpool. Basically, he was facing a choice of the safe inevitability of Bayern Munich or the uncertain allure of Man City's Guardiola's Man City, and then he chose Liverpool not out of romance, but it made the perfect sense footballing wise. Arne Slot did not dazzle him with empty promises. He offered a stage, he offered him a role, a plan. Be the fulcrum, be the press breaker, be the game tilter, the boy who helped end Bayern's grip on the Bundesliga, turned his back on them to help Liverpool rise again. Man City's speech had the gloss but not the guarantee. Guardiola's future is uncertain, Man City's future is uncertain. And Wirtz saw this for what it was, because at Man City a £100 million player can sit on the bench like Jack Grealish. The idea of replacing De Bruyne was not enough. He doesn't want to follow, he wanted to lead. At Liverpool he will do both. He joins the club that humiliated his Leverkusen side last season, and the same club where his close friend Frimpong now waits for him, where the crowd roared like the believers. Jurgen Klopp turned Liverpool fans from doubters to believers. This is not a gamble, it's a statement. Florian Wirtz is 22 years old and he already presses like a demon, he creates like a veteran, he dribbles with an intent, he passes under pressure better than almost anyone in Europe. He's not just a luxury player, he's the first line of defense. Liverpool did not win a tug of war, they passed the test of conviction. And Wirtz, to his credit, also passed his conviction, because he signed for Liverpool, and it's absolutely brilliant what he has done. And also credit to Richard Hughes and FSG for this Florian Wirtz deal, because they are already proving their worth this summer. And also you have to credit Michael Edwards, because he maintained contact and relationship with the Wirtz family, and even before Michael Edwards left the club, and then he returns and makes Florian Wirtz a priority signing. So that's top work from the Liverpool hierarchy. FSG got a lot of criticism, from myself included as well, which I think at the time was justified, because Liverpool didn't spend enough money when we really needed to spend money after winning the Champions League in 2019 and winning the Premier League in 2020. Liverpool stagnated while others improved, and who knows, maybe with a little bit more spending Liverpool could have won 3 Premier League titles under Klopp, not just one. But still, the bottom line is FSG have turned it around brilliantly. Hiring Arne Slot was a masterstroke, and Liverpool won the Premier League title in his first season, and the future is so exciting. So how would you rate Liverpool's transfer window? Because so far I would rate it a 9 out of 10. If Kerkez and Wirtz become official transfers, that's an absolute 9 out of 10 transfer window. The 10 out of 10 would be if you sign Julian Alvarez or Alexander Isak. That would be a 10 out of 10 transfer window for sure. Some Liverpool fans are calling this the best transfer window since Liverpool signed Van Dijk and Alisson. But we didn't sign them in one transfer window. We signed Virgil in January, and then in the summer we signed Alisson, and that was a fantastic 6 months of transfer business from Liverpool's point of view. And also Paul Joyce revealed even more insider information of how Arne Slot and Liverpool convinced Florian Wirtz to join Liverpool. He said that Florian Wirtz sat down and listened. He listened to Pep Guardiola, he listened to Vincent Kompany and to Arne Slot, 3 of Europe's most high-profile coaches, and those pitches would prove easier than for others. The title successes of Bayern and Liverpool offered Kompany and Arne Slot an easy introduction, but Guardiola did not have that luxury. He could sell a vision of Wirtz stepping into the void created by the departure of Kevin De Bruyne, and Man City's biggest attraction is Guardiola and the chance to work under one of the greatest coaches of the modern era. But Man City pulled out because apparently Wirtz was too expensive. I think they pulled out because Wirtz chose Liverpool, and several sources, including those in Germany, have indicated that Wirtz inquired about how long Guardiola would remain in charge, and Guardiola wasn't emphatic about that, so it was Wirtz who turned down Man City, not the other way around, because there wasn't no guarantee that Guardiola would stay beyond the next 2 years, and that left 2 clubs, Bayern Munich and Liverpool. Real Madrid had a long interest, but their priorities lie elsewhere, and Bayern Munich had just recaptured the Bundesliga after pipping Leverkusen to the title. But Bayern were overconfident. That was some reports by the German media about Wirtz, because his father and agent Hans-Joachim Wirtz was well known to Uli Hoeneß, the Bayern honorary president. So they didn't speak to him properly until May the 18th, to Florian Wirtz, that is. How Wirtz, who is 22 years old, would fit into the lineup alongside Musiala had been mooted as a potential headache for company during talks. It is difficult to believe that such a consideration had not been properly thought through. Arne Slot's sales pitch, though, was more straightforward. He offered Wirtz the number 10 role, and he can play anywhere else given his versatility as well. There was the added lure of working under a coach who, improved Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk and Ryan Gravenberch as well. England represented also a new challenge, a step outside Wirtz's comfort zone, and the best sporting project out of all of the three, something which has always taken precedence in his career above financial rewards. There is the story that when he joined Leverkusen at the age of 16, his parents gave him a monthly allowance of just 150 euros, and the rest of the Wirtz salary was managed by his parents, which is very smart, I think. Winning a first title in Leverkusen's history had been an outstanding achievement, but of course, if you win the title with Bayern, it's whatever. That's not an amazing achievement. They always win the title. Wirtz is also close friends with another player who joined Liverpool, Jeremy Frimpong, who used to drive his teammate to training and sit next to him in the dressing room, which should help him assimilate. However, it was the possibility of testing himself in the best league in the world that truly appealed to Florian Wirtz. Wirtz also was impressed by Anfield and the training ground facilities which Leverkusen used before they lost 4-0 to Liverpool, and the manner in which Xabi Alonso's side had collapsed in the second half served as a shock to a team that had become accustomed to winning, but also signposted Liverpool's emergence. Arne Slot also had another ace up his sleeve. The celebrations after the win over Tottenham, which sealed Liverpool's 20th league title, showed the power of the club, and the parade as well was amazing. Winning the league, having these fans, this is a big attraction to every player we want to bring in, and that is definitely helpful. Of course, Ryan Cherki was considered and some alternatives as well, but Wirtz is the best of the absolutely best player in this position in the world. So the key date was May the 23rd, because that was when the momentum swung in Arne Slot's and Liverpool's favour. Bayern were informed that Wirtz saw his future in Liverpool, and bad news in Bavaria led to a celebration in Liverpool. Liverpool had long been aware of Wirtz's capabilities, and they had fostered relationships with himself and his family. Being the last team standing owed much to their persistence and ambition, and it was another reward for Liverpool's, the Liverpool institution, that Arne Slot would be the perfect appointment as Jurgen Klopp's successor. The deal is not only a club record, it could be a British record, a Bundesliga record, and for Liverpool to commit this amazing amount of money to one player is significant. But paying 75 million for Van Dijk in 2018, that would mean 99 million right now. So it's in the similar ballpark. Wirtz has always been deemed one of the best attacking midfielders in the world in the last few years. Together with his age, that he's so young, just 22, that profile costs a lot of money. Liverpool will benefit from the best years of his career, and in return they are gaining not only an attacker but also a first defender. In the Bundesliga last season, only Bayern's Michael Olise one possession more than Wirtz in the final third, which demonstrates his willingness to press the ball, and he can handle being pressed as well, because among wingers and attacking midfielders with 200 more passes attempted under high pressure, only Man City's Phil Foden ranked ahead of Wirtz. Wirtz has 88.8% completion rate in that metric. And that's the complete package. Moves from the Bundesliga to the Premier League has not always worked out. Naby Keita is a cautionary tale, or Timo Werner. But the view at Liverpool is that Wirtz is someone who will make the difference, and the player for whom it was worth breaking the bank. And that's, I think, absolutely true. And now Liverpool will focus on some player sales, and after some player sales, maybe Liverpool will go for a striker and a centre-back. That could be guaranteed signings as well. There is still potential to sign more, after those two positions, of course depending on how many players will be sold by Liverpool. And let's talk about Luis Diaz, because from a source in Spain, Barcelona have the belief that they can strike a deal for Luis Diaz with Liverpool, even after Liverpool send them packing after their first inquiry. But Barcelona may need to pay more than £60 million for Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz has always been interested in the move. It's a tough situation for Liverpool, because Luis Diaz is a top player, no doubt. But if Liverpool are reluctant to offer him a new deal, that's clearly a direction being taken, that Luis Diaz is going to be sold. If you sell to Saudi for £65 million or maybe even more, that's strong business. If you let Barcelona lowball you at 45-50 million, that's less appealing, of course. But if you keep Luis Diaz without extending his contract, that's a huge risk, because next summer he will have 1 year left on his contract and his value will diminish. It's harsh, but £60 million or more for a 28-year-old winger with 2 years left on his contract might be the smart transfer decision for Liverpool's long-term future, especially if they believe that Liverpool have already scouted the next one. If it helps fund a younger, more long-term solution on the left wing, then sadly it looks like it has to be done. And also I'm so happy that it looks like Liverpool will have 3 Hungarians in their team next season, including the new goalkeeper Armin Pécsi, who Liverpool signed from the Hungarian first division, and he will start pre-season with Liverpool, because it looks like he will be considered Liverpool's third choice goalkeeper, with Jaros being sent out on loan. So he's expected to be part of Liverpool's tour in Asia, and that means he can impress Arne Slot, and hopefully that means that he will maybe sometimes sit on the bench as the third choice goalkeeper. And also Liverpool announced that the last pre-season friendly is against Athletic Bilbao at Anfield on Monday, August the 4th. So that's 1 week before the Premier League kicks off, and the Premier League fixtures will be announced in a week or so as well. So I'm really excited about that one as well. So let me know what you think about everything we talked about in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Goodbye.